Hello YouTube, this is Hawaiian Air 2121 with a model review this time. I have featured the brand new NG models United 737-800 with split skimmers as compared to the Gemini Jets 737-800 with split skimmers. The Gemini version, this is the original version of the Gemini, and I believe it was released in 2015 or 2016. And then we have the brand new NG models. In this update, I'm going to give you a review of the NG models and the Gemini Jets, and then decide which model is better for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy. To begin our review, I'm going to say that both of the models look nearly identical, which is a huge plus for NG models for matching Gemini Jet's Pantone color scheme. There is one slight detail that NG models missed, but it's not that big of a deal. I'll explain that in a little bit. I just think that both models look pretty much the exact same thing, and NG models is pretty much spot on with coloring and stuff. The one thing I think NG models has missed is right by the cabin door, right here is the blue sticker that says United Wi-Fi, United Streamless Television. I didn't realize this until my recent United flight that all the United 737s have this sticker on it saying that they have Wi-Fi and streamless television, or they've got TV. This is a very important detail in my opinion. I think it's really cool that Gemini Jets had it, but I'll show you NG models. NG models, unfortunately, lacks that. I don't know if it's just because that model is going to be a DirecTV plane or not, but there is a Wi-Fi dome and it does lack that, so that is one of my kind of pet peeves of NG, that I wish NG models included it, but it is totally okay as it's a very minute detail. Here we are looking at NG models version, and we can see that United Wi-Fi, United Television has been removed, as it's present right here, and not present in this guy. Next, I'm going to show you guys one benefit of the NG model. This is the Gemini Jets version, and as we can see, there's only one antenna on the bottom compared to the NG models, which I absolutely love this. There are 3 red antennas on the bottom. I think they did this for the United New Color 737 too, but I couldn't get that one, and I had to get this guy because I absolutely love those red antennas. We have another look at the red antennas over here, and I think they look amazing. One other thing that NG models missed, however, was a place to put the model in. For stand-wise, they have these 2 little holes over here that could be used, but I'm going to show you the Gemini Jets version, which has the main hole that could have been used to hold the model up. This is the Gemini Jets version. As you can see with the Gemini Jets badge, there is that little hole over there that you can put the stand on, compared to the NG models, which lacks that. I do like that NG models does not have the brand on the bottom. It looks more realistic in my opinion, but they missed the stand. Just looking at the bottom of these guys, I think NG models has a much more realistic belly of the plane, with especially those red antennas, the dots on the engines. So you got the stripes on the engines as well, and you got the little lines over here. But the Gemini just has the stripe, doesn't have any really lines compared to it, while this guy has much, much more detail. Which is a pretty cool thing. If you're a serious collector, I would recommend the NG model because the 3 red antennas, and I think it's more of a chrome-based bottom over here. And this is still chrome, but just it's hard to show on the camera, but the NG models version is much shinier than the Gemini Jets version. We have the Wi-Fi dome and the top antenna. And the Gemini Jets version, we also have the Wi-Fi dome and the top antenna and the red circle on top, red circle on top. So pretty much the top of these 2 planes look pretty much nearly identical. So I think both the planes did a good job on that. The NG models version seems to be a bit higher up than the Gemini Jets version. I'm not sure if this is because I've had the Gemini Jets version for a long time and it's worn down, or that it's just a coincidence, or that it is a fact that the NG models is a little bit more up than the Gemini Jets version, as you can see over here. I think the exit door of the NG models is much more detailed compared to the Gemini Jets version. And the tails itself look pretty much the same, color. Much better than the Aero Classics tail, which really is a lot, the blue is a lot darker than the NG models on the Gemini Jets version. I think NG models did a very good job in the split skimmer winglet. I really like it. I think it's really cool addition to the plane compared to the GJ version, which is also a very good split skimmer. I think it adds a lot of detail to the plane. So yeah, I think both of them did a very good job on the top of the plane, the sides of the plane. I think they pretty much look nearly identical. They both, this one's November 76529, and this guy's November 77296. And then they got the registration door right next to the exit, and both of these guys have that. So I think they did a very good job on that. The wing itself looked pretty much identical. I'm sure there's a few lines that NG models missed, but it's not that big of a deal to me. They've got the 2 exit arrows on them, which is good. I think they're pretty much spot on for both of them. Another feature of the NG models that I love is by the tail. I think that this is mostly metal rather than this guy, which is just skimpy plastic to me. I don't really like that. Gemini Jets kind of uses the plastic over there. I like more of the metal version of it. As the NG models, I think it just looks more realistic that way. And you're paying a lot of money for these models. I think they should not be really plastic-based and more metal-based. So I like that for the NG models. Another feature of the NG models I love is the rolling rubber tires. I think these guys are much better than the Gemini Jets version, because I have a gray board, and whenever the sun shines, for some reasons the models want to stick to the ground, but I have not had this problem with the NG models. I think it moves. I don't really like moving it that much, but it moves very smoothly, and I think that it looks really good. I love those rubber tires. They don't get stuck. As to the Gemini Jets guy, which is a little harder to move, and it sounds like it's going to break, so I'm not going to move it that much more. But I have to say NG models kind of did a better job with the wheels. And just in general, I think NG models had a much more detailed version of the plane than the Gemini Jets version. The box designs, obviously, I love NG models box a lot more than the standard Gemini Jets version, but the box is not that big of a deal to me. I like the plane better than just the box. Obviously, I like the Gemini Jets, so you can see the plane inside. It's not, the NG models doesn't have that, but it's not that big of a deal to me. And last, I'm going to tell you about the prices of each. So, for the Gemini Jets version, without shipping, I probably paid about $36. With the NG models, the original price was $44.95. I got it down to $41. I think that the NG models is a little high for a 737. I think the price point of the Gemini Jets is better, but obviously with the NG models, you get a lot more detail, like the metal in the back and the red antennas, which I really, really like. So my final conclusion on the two is just basically what you want. I know Gemini Jets released another United split skimmers, but I didn't get that one. I wanted to see the NG models. I think they're both really, really nice models. If I had to pick, I would say without price, the NG model, but with price, the Gemini Jets, just because it's a little high, the NG models, but I think NG models did a very good job with the United 737. And just some update about this airport. I'm going to be doing another update of this airport in the upcoming week or weeks, depending on what I do for the holiday and work. Not much has been done besides more of the pinstriping tape and gate markings, as well as the cargo crew. If you would like a route, I'm trying to make sure that I have everybody, but I might forget about 1 or 2 routes. So if you want a route, I would just recommend just to comment, and I'll make sure to include your route, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a great day, and thank you, and I'll be back with this update.